Nintendo's doing alright.
Doomed.
What?
Yes,
no way.
Nope,
Come on, be
I
real.
am.
Really?
Yep, dang straight.
We're doing that right now. Come
don't
on,
even
right
try
now?
it. Arguing with myself.
Mario Party, Nintendo's friendly version of the money-grubbing, capitalistic American board game with the favorite guy of question and monocle, Monopoly.
You know,
Where everyone tears each other apart from limb in order to get to the top spot by collecting each other's stars. Anyone behind that? Good old Mario Party. A battle of wits, a battle of fun, and a battle of where you can put your 3-year-old nephew in his place. Hands off my coins, you little... Sorry, lost my cool for a second. You see, Mario Party is a family fun game with simple controls, simple concept paired up with simple games and simple boards. Speaking of boards, the boards to me are a little lackluster coming from the GameCube era of Mario Party's games. There is a definite lack of space. Literally, there's little bits of spaces to actually travel. If you get a high enough dice roll, you can be halfway across the map in one turn, which is crazy. For comparison's sake, in Mario Party 5, some of the boards, like for example Future Dream Board, can literally be cut into 3 equal parts and be the same size as the board in Super Mario Party for Switch. That board gets 67 spaces. That's more than double than Kamek's tantalizing tower. Now, it's not all bad. Less spaces mean more opportunity, more stars, less waiting around, more bang for your buck, which is more movement, ya feel me? I don't know, it sounds like you're being a fanboy to me. How are you gonna cut the size so much? You can also argue that it diminishes the value of the stars and coins collected because you will run into them so often. You don't feel the actual sting when someone steals a star because why? Whoop-de-doo, I can go around the corner and get another one. So let me use this here shroom and have 1 or 2 allies, and all of a sudden I roll a ridiculous number like a 10, or have a shroom and that's 13, and have 1 or 2 allies and that's a roll of like 15 right there. There was a couple of times where I rolled a high number, got a star, and then the star traveled like 6 or 7 spaces down away from me, and boom, 2 stars in 1 turn. How is that fair? I forgot this is 2019 where everyone is butthurt and got something to complain about. Seriously, dude? Complaining about getting more stars? The internet's not gonna be happy with you, bro. Yeah, well, I'll let the fan base decide on that one. Streamlines, you know what? I'm more of the type to sit down and really tear down little Johnny, making sure he knows his parents don't love him and he'll be an outcast for the rest of his life.
Jesus Christ, Spiffy. Mario Party really brings out the worst in you, huh?
Yeah, moving on. I know I've been sounding negative about the game,
Yep.
but shut up. But there are things I do enjoy about the Luigi Older Brothers get-together game. First being the custom dice block. This makes the game a lot more interesting to choose a character. Gone are the days of choosing a character just because you like that particular character so much. You don't care. It adds a element of strategy because in certain cases you might want to roll a 5. You would want to try to pick a character in advance before you play the game that would have multiple 5s on their custom dice.
Dungeon Dice Roll.
Calm down there, Yugi. Custom dice rolls take to some degree a level of foresight. You want a 10 on a roll, you run the risk of running a 1 multiple times. An opposite trade-off. You can also opt for something that has 7 across the board, but you also run the risk of losing 2 or 3 coins every time you try to hit one of those 7s. It's a pretty interesting dynamic.
Whack! Everybody should have the same dice playing the same field. That's the way I score on my little Johnny, and that's the same way I score on your mom at that same time.
You want to score on my mom?
What I meant was...
You said enough. We're just gonna move on. At any rate, I do not agree with Scruffy over here that the custom dice block can either make or break at certain pivotal points in the game that a standard dice block would have less of a chance of achieving. I also hate custom dice because of the simple fact that when the AI has a custom dice, they always hit that number they need to hit. You need a 15, you got a 15. You got a 12, you got a 12. It's so aggravating because there's been times where I've been playing with a friend of mine or something like that, and all of a sudden they would get 3 stars in a row. I'm exaggerating at this point, but you know what I mean. Yeah. On the topic of the AI, let's switch speeds real quick. The AI set to very hard seems flawed. When on the board, they seem to get the exact numbers they always need to land on an alley space, an event space, to do something specific, land exactly on the star, etc., you know, a hidden black space, anything that'll give them the advantage. But when it comes to mini games, it's like there's a severe handicap. It is very rare that I, or metaphorical little Johnny over here, will lose to the fabled, very hard to beat CPU ever. Like, we don't ever lose. If you get paired up 3 versus 1 in a mini game, whoever gets paired up with the AI or the CPU or whatever have you, you're almost guaranteed to lose. You know, the person that's alone, especially if it's a human player, will most likely win the game. It takes away from the overall enjoyment of the game because then you're like, man, I got paired up with a very hard CPU. Like back in the Mario Party 5 days, it was like whoever got paired the very hard CPUs would have a clear advantage. Or you could just get good. If you're good enough like me, it wouldn't matter who's on your team, AI or not, because I'm MVP, baby. You haven't won a single match of Mario Party yet, right? That's what I thought. When it comes to playing the actual party modes on board games, collecting stars, it can be argued that AI takes away from the game instead of adding to it. If I had to recommend it, play it with 4 people every single time, but people don't have that luxury and I understand that, which is why I'm complaining about the AI's capability. The amount of smack talk, though, that comes from playing with 4 people, the competitiveness, a relationship-shattering bond is unmatched by any other game. And yet, but let's tie a couple of loose ends. Let's see, I played the River game. I gotta say, it's a tad bit disappointing. Great concept, team-based party games, and about after 20 minutes of playing through the game, though, after the second playthrough, the minigames had already started to repeat themselves. I was sitting there like, what? Do I have to unlock more? No, it's just, that's it. It just repeats itself. But unfortunately, this seems to be the case with everything else that isn't party mode. Whether it be the river survival or the soundstage, after playing 2-3 playthroughs, it's kind of hard to justify going back unless you're showing someone that hasn't played this particular mode in Mario Party yet. At the end of the day, Mario Party, well, it's Mario Party. And what really defines this series is about how many people can gather around a glowing box and pick each other apart. Friend or foe, family, nephew, mom, sister or brother with weird touchy uncle in the background. And, you know, none of you can escape my wrath. I got a little competitive there again. And, well, those are my thoughts on Super Mario Party. I'm not really big on giving an 8 out of 10, 4 stars, 7.8, too much water or anything like that, but it's a pretty solid game. Like I said, Mario Party is Mario Party. It's all about the good times, and you know, at the end of the day, it gives you a good time if you're playing with other people, and I would recommend the game. Do you agree with any of this? What are your thoughts? Because these are mine. This is about Super Mario Party on Switch. Do you still play the game? Did you buy it? You played it the first week? You played it the first hour? I mean, what's going on with you? Let me know, fan base. And as always, this has been Mr. Spiffy 5. Have a good one.
Wow, back. Remember, if you like the content, subscribe. If you really like the content, give that bell a good old ring-a-ding-ding. Until next time, guys, this has been a Mr. Spiffy 5 video. Game over.
Tego.